Halo, halo. Jo. Hello and welcome everybody here at HubHub Prague and everybody on the stream, and maybe you're watching later, so welcome everybody. I'd like to welcome you to actually a third edition of Community Chatter. I think both of the previous ones were organized online during the time that we all remember quite recently. And I like this type of events because this is event by people who usually push others to give presentations, to go to meetups or to socialize. And now it's us or them who will be presenting to you the topics that are hopefully related to all of you here or most of you. And that's really the community work that we do here at Prague and in our companies. So today we have three great speakers, and I will not prolong my talk, and I will give word to my colleague Gabriela, who will speak about the booth and the machines. Enjoy.
So, hello everyone, and once again, welcome. Let me tell you something about the booth and the machines. I'll be covering how we think about it at Mews and why we prepare our booths in a way we do. But before I get to the core topic, I would like to introduce myself. So I'm a proud member of Mews community management team. It's been 3 years since when I joined, and also I'm one of the biggest fans of Mews developers, of Mews tech team members. And besides that, I'm also mom of one. Also, this status will soon be upgraded, so we will see how things will work out after that. I may stuck for a while, which means either that in my head I would be analyzing what's going on back home, or that I simply forgot what I was gonna say. So bear with me, and feel free to interrupt the silence and shout some ideas so we can move on. Let's do a bit survey time, just a little short and one. How many of you have ever prepared any booth, I mean event booth for a conference, for a fair, for some trade show? Raise your hands. I can see some hands in the air, so I'll be happy to chat your experience after we finish all the talks. To make it clear, by event booths, I mean the booths companies present themselves at all the tech events, conferences, all the career fairs, and some similar events. The usual setup looks like this. If you have ever been to a conference, you know, or you would know that this is all about. The usual setup consists of a pop-up wall, or sometimes it's both. It's also with a roll-up. There are also some other information displays, which can be a screen, or which could be some leaflets. And almost every company wants to present themselves and show off with some cool merch. So that's it. I really enjoy the booth preparation part, but there are challenges that can occur along the way. Of course, there are. It can be limited booth and storage space. It can be transport, the way how you bring all the items there. It can be staffing, and by staffing, I mean who and when will operate the booth and talk to the visitors. And last but not least, is the visitor experience. Finally, we are getting to our Mews experience. To understand why we do things the way we do them, let me introduce Mews shortly. At Mews, we built the hospitality system of the future. The hotel industry is rather inflexible in terms of technology. So we've been designing a system to simplify and automate all of the operations that help not only the hoteliers, but also the users, the visitors of the hotels, hotel chains, and other institutions. It's from booking engine to check-in, and from the front desk to revenue management, it covers it all. So that being said, you would probably guess that we are a B2B business, but not only. We have some B2C features as well. Yes, there and back. Yeah. Our system has been implemented to more than 3,000 hotels. These are just some of them you may know. But let's get back to our event booth and its preparation. What is our strategy and what is our philosophy? It is to bring something special in place. It's all started back in 2019 when our community management team was established. as part of Mews Tech team. We are reporting directly to CTO in order to provide the best support not only to our internal community, which are our Mews Tech team members, the developers, the QA engineers, the data analysts, and all the other people I forgot to name, but also to be close to our external audience, which are the potential candidates and all the, not only, but Czech community. I mean, the Czech tech community. It's pretty clear where we get inspired at first place. It's our marketing team. So they are our go-to team in terms of all the event booths, or at least they were in the past, because they attended all the hospitality and hotel and travel trade shows, all the fairs and conferences, and always came up with something special. So it was no accident or good luck that brought us the title of the best booths at some of the events. We didn't wait long to join the events where we could show off. So in the same year, 2019, we attended a Reactive conference, we attended a Web Expo and some career fairs. One of them was the one at the Czech Technical University. And yeah, it was the first event where we represented Mews, Mews Tech team. And you could notice at the previous slide that we got inspired again at our marketing team and used the same team they used before, and it was a pit stop. Why such team, you can ask, and why all the race car outfits? So we came there to show off that we are going to pimp up the hotels, as well as to present the opportunities of joining our teams. Yes. We also brought something special, as I said before, and those were the race car outfits, as you can see in the picture. Yay, there is Jan. So then came the Web Expo. We didn't get any prepared booth just to be designed by us, but we had to come up with a complete booth designed by ourselves. So we created a tiny lounge, and we knew that people attending such events usually need some more energy during the presentations and talks. So we brought our Red Bull fridge full of energy drinks, and we brought our neon. It became some kind of our trademark, as it is very noticeable and as it decorates almost all our offices. We also became a partner for the Reactive Conf, as you can see that at this event we finally met all the requirements of an usual booth. We had it all. We had pop-up wall, we had roll-up, we had the table, we brought the merch, and we had something special, which was the relax zone. So the relax zone was our something special for the event. That the reason behind that was that we knew that people at such events are usually missing some place to relax, so we went for it. Yeah, something special. hopefully we'll see my presentations in a while again. Did I broke it? You can take it, Jan.
Yeah, because there was like a pit stop where the hotel would come without any features, and we are in the pit stop. The guys would put everything in the car, yeah, and then you leave like a full-on car, and that's why we use it also for that. That you as a student, you come to Mews as like kind of without many things, and we kind of give you all. There can be a long stretch sometimes, but you need to find that stretch.
And the presentation is back, so we can go on. There was one last thing I can't forget to mention, and that is the mini game we prepared for the attendees. It was a pretty complex quiz for designers and developers. And again, the reason we decided to prepare such thing was that, yeah, we wanted something special to have at our booth, and we also love side projects at Mews. There is one Wednesday a month dedicated to side projects, meaning everyone can dedicate their time to work on something on our system they wouldn't normally get to. So, but back to that quiz. Our guys used an experimental technology that was later used in our product. To sum it up, from our experience, you can bring something special to almost every event, and it can be almost anything, from drinks over some yummy stuff to some kind of entertainment. After 2 years of break caused by COVID, going hand in hand with my pregnancy and maternity leave, this year finally came, and so the events. To celebrate this opportunity or this date, as well as the 10th birthday of Mews, we decided that the party, that the theme for the upcoming events will be a party. We had 2 designs prepared. One was more relaxed garden party, and the other one was more fancy lounge party. Those of you who met me or before or who know me, those know that I sometimes have some crazy ideas, well, crazy and great ideas at the same time. So I proposed to get a claw machine for our booth, which surprisingly everyone loved. So we had to arrange a booth for our event. And yes, from the 2 booth designs, we chose the second one, the lounge party. Okay, after some quick research, we found a rental service who offered a claw machine. Easy, you would think. But there was this thing that the communication wasn't really good. So last minute, we decided to withdraw from that cooperation. And there came this guy, many of you probably know into game. Láďa Vašek is a guy known for knowing everyone. So I texted him if he knew anyone who could rent us a claw machine like the one we wanted. And a couple of minutes later, he sent me an advertisement suggesting he would buy it and rent it to us. but we really wanted it, right? So we put our heads together and decided to go for it, but on our own. We decided to, after discussing it with our finance department, I simply replied to that guy asking for a video showing if and how the machine works. So this is the video. And few days after this conversation, Jan Meissner, that tall guy in the audience, leading our community management team, together with our transport guy, being also one of our engineering managers, hopped on a car and went to Kutná Hora to bring a claw machine to our office. So, Lukáš, if you're watching the live stream, thank you once again for all your help with transporting stuff to our events. And for you to know, Lukáš has a very big car, so he's always ready to help us out. Unfortunately, I couldn't join this mission, but I have it all live as Jan was texting me about that dodgy place and about everything they experienced. So yeah, it was pretty nice. So this is it. Our Web Expo party lounge with a claw machine full of Mews merch, fridge full of cupcakes, balloons, and another machine, our check-in kiosk. But why on earth a claw machine, you may ask? There is, again, a reason behind it, because at our team, at our tech team, we are very competitive. So yeah, that's it. And we also didn't want people just to get a merch, and we wanted to do it in more interactive way, I would say. I mean, the distribution. The booth looked pretty cool, right? But there is another story behind it. Once we transport the machine, attached all the design stickers on the booth and plugged it in, it didn't work. Great, yay. So we called the serviceman, another engineering manager of our team, to help us out to fix it. Eventually he managed, and we were almost ready for Web Expo. There was one last thing for us to arrange to be completely ready for the event, and it was to get the coins, which was pretty fun experience for me, as I visited like 3 banks in a row to get the right amount to avoid paying all the fees. So as mentioned before, the claw machine wasn't the only machine on our booth. We brought another one, and it was our self-service check-in kiosk. That is one of our products that is used by guests of our hotels, and it was tweaked a bit as part of another side project, of course, by our developers, by our colleagues. And again, we needed something special to make it work, right? And that were the NFC cards, and their prints to be, we had to somehow get the right amount of them and to print them as soon as possible. In the end, we found a provider. It was one company from Havířov, who delivered that in 1 day time, which was incredible. And it worked the way people checked in, as they would at the hotel to their room, and that way they entered our prize draw. But not only that, it was a smooth way for us to gather all the emails from potential candidates as well. Of course, we could use some JBL or something like that for the price, but we decided to make famous one of our developers who is sitting in the audience. That's where Vašek Kučera comes in place. He is a big fan and builder of mechanical keyboards. He also wrote a blog post about it, which you can find on our website or our blog. Sorry for that. So yeah, we went this way. So to close the Web Expo booth topic, we didn't use the wall, the roll-up, nor the table, but we had merch and we had something special, which was not only the claw machine, but also the birthday cupcakes, the kiosk, and the mechanical keyboards as prizes. Web Expo was the first event of this year for us, but definitely not the last one. Since then, we went to Brno, we went to Ostrava, and last but not least, we closed the conference or fair year with an event in London. And we had there pretty similar booth to that one we had at Web Expo. So here you can see the booth at Silicon Milk Roundabout event. It had it all, once again, not all except of the pop-up wall. But still, we had roll-up there, we had merch, and we brought something special, which was, again, the claw machine. We have rented and designed, printed right in London. So it was much smoother experience to arrange this booth than the one about Web Expo for Web Expo. So what are the takeaways? Here is our best team tips on planning and preparing the booth. Plan ahead because time is uncompromising and you never know what can happen. Be creative, but still show your culture and your values. Don't be afraid to play, to go wild and bring something unexpected, what always stand out. Involve your people, which means that, for example, we are always taking our students and our alumni to the university career fairs because they were part of the community and they know how to talk to those people. They know their struggles and their problems. They know the answers for their questions. So that is pretty useful. Always try to make use of your product and try to integrate it as much as possible, as much as you can. And try to tell a story with your booth. Definitely be ready to improvise. And coming to justifying your budget, always have in mind that when speaking of tech event booth, use the argument of like comparing it to budget for a developer's salary, for example, or something like that, something that people would understand and something they just simply can deny. And keep calm, because that's all you can do. And, you know, it's not the rocket science, so you would probably be able to fix all the problems that may occur. Okay, so thank you for your attention, and that's all from me.
Thank you, Gabriela. And you know, Gabriela mentioned that she's a mother of one, and today I was part of the dry run, and you cannot imagine what it is to present and be a mom of a 2-year-old kid. So congrats, and You're doing amazing. I just want to say one thing. When I was in Kutná Hora and I was buying the stuff from the guy, you know, he told me, I was asking, how is your business going? And he said, well, you know, it's doing great. I have an elementary school right next door. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to take this out. I have to take this away from the kids. So I bought it, but I got a discount because there was a broken glass. Even though he didn't want to give me the discount because he gave it to me with the toys. So if you would like some 20-year-old toys, they are in our office because there is a counter of how many times that game was played, and it was played 75,000 times. So it's been used, and he taught me how to make it so that nobody gets any toy, because he told me this is the way how to do with these things. But I asked him, I need everybody to get something out. So that's one thing. And I have this little card that you saw. So if there is any question, the first person that asks will get an NFC card printed in Havířov. So if there is any question to, yep, Richard.
So did you bring the same machine, the same claw machine to London?
No.
I see.
We had it designed and prepared right in London.
And apparently in London they know what they're doing, because the first thing you do, you write rent claw machine London, and the first thing we got, that's where we ordered it. But the price was basically twice for the 2 days than what we got here forever. Now the claw machine is in our office. We use it internally, so you can always come to use it.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. Do you have any tips for very small companies or startups that don't have much of a budget and cannot afford claw machines and things like this? Where would you start?
Well, I guess I would have like millions ideas, so we can probably discuss that later during the networking part.
But this is actually a very good question, because I think what Gabriela said, that to justify it against something more tangible, I think would work, because we don't spend much on the events. But then, for example, we come to an event and we have our booth, we have the claw machine, and next to us is a company that has only table and stress balls and pen and paper. And I know how much they paid for the space. We paid the same, and I'm like, why would you even care do that? So I wouldn't be scared to spend something, but I think definitely Gabriela will have many tips for you. So if you want to save on booths, come to Gabriela after the event.
It was also connected to the budget. Thank you for giving me some volume.
All right. So round of applause for Gabriela. Thank you. And next up, we'll go with Alenka.
I guess so.
Yeah?
Can I?
All right. So Alenka representing Kiwi. If you didn't know from the stickers on her computer.
Yeah, they're all community stickers.
That's a proper DevRel computer. All right. So Alenka will be speaking about how to boost the internal community when we're back to offline. So good luck and enjoy.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Just give me a moment to prepare everything, because I have some notes. Yeah, it should be fine. Huh. So yeah, you can do it one more time. Hello guys, I'm Alena Osipova. The name of the talk is Reactivating Internal Tech Community. This thing I'm doing at kiwi.com. But first of all, I want to thank you all for coming for this in-person meetup for community builders, finally. And I want to say hi to all the people who are joining virtually. So what I will be talking about, the thing is, when I joined kiwi.com 1.5 years ago, it was still during the pandemic time, and the main goal was to reactivate the community somehow. And I've been working with it for almost 1.5 years by now, and I think I can share some do's and don'ts with you guys. But first, let me introduce briefly myself. As I mentioned, I'm Alena. They also call me Alenka. And you can find me on Twitter, on Mastodon, as who knows what's going to happen with Twitter. And I'm usually on LinkedIn, so in case you guys have any tech community related questions, you can reach out to me. I'm also tweeting a lot about my cats, so if you go on my Twitter, you can enjoy some nice pictures of my Ginger and Marcy. And yeah, this is me in my free time. I'm learning Python. I'm also in my free time. I'm quite a lot involved in the local communities, and yeah, community is my life basically. I enjoy it very much. Oh yeah, before that, I wanted to ask you if you actually know the product, Kiwi.com. Have you ever used Kiwi.com to search for your travel? Maybe hands? Okay, great. Okay, a lot of people know us. Thank you. And do we have tech community builders here, or people who are working with the communities of developers, maybe designers, product people? Yeah, okay, great. And people who are managing internal communities? Okay, great, to some extent, amazing. So for you guys, it will be applicable. If you're just starting with your internal community, a lot of things will be also applicable, and I will try to keep it short, although the topic is very, very big. It's huge. So about our tech community, at Kiwi.com, we have internal tech community, as I mentioned. And we run this community to share knowledge. The citizens of this community, the members, are citizens of our engineering department. And we have a small team of community managers or community team that is taking care of those developers. We are supporting them on the journey of being community active, with speaking, writing, and all the stuff. What we do, we speak a lot at conferences, meetups. We write in our blog, on our blog platform, and also on the platforms of our partners and external platforms. We educate and mentor a lot. You can see our developers mentoring at PyLadies and other local user groups. We create developer-friendly content a lot. We support each other in our community while we are preparing for all of that, and we travel a lot. I feel like I live on a business trip sometimes, because in Kiwi we have offices not only in Czechia, we also have offices in Slovakia, in Barcelona, London, and we are constantly exploring new sites. So yeah, and we have a lot of developers' offices, and we have a lot of community initiatives there. The question of why we are doing this, what is the business value? We decided to the sharing knowledge we got in the engineering department with the developer audience. Sharing knowledge we got in the engineering department with developer audience outside of our company to communicate our modern tech stack projects we have in engineering department, our approaches, and our people. We'll let externals think about us before they actually saw the job ad or got a call from the recruiter. So usually for those people, we are the first contact, the first introduction to the company. So we're using the approach of establishing tech brand awareness by giving back to the community. If you would talk to our CTO, JK, he would tell you that giving back to the community is in our DNA, which is true. We're using this approach since 2016, when we rebranded our company from Skypeaker to Kiwi.com, and this is when code.kiwi.com happened. But there was a few years when the road was extremely bumpy. As you can imagine, engaged developers are the key to the success of when you use that approach. You need people talking, sharing, educating, and it was tough. We are a travel and tech company, and travel and tech company being in the middle of pandemic when travel was struggling, it was really hard. And developers were home officing feeling anxiety. We all were not sure what will be next with us. So, you know, the community budget shrank, and the community team, Lada was mentioned here. He's also ex-Kiwi. He was one of the community managers before. So basically, the community team also started to lose their members to other companies. We didn't have layoffs, but people were not sure what's going on in travel. So some of the people decided to change places. So this is the state of the community. I like catnips. That's why I decided to picture our developers as this nice blob, sitting at home, feeling anxious a bit. So this was the state of the community when I joined. And my manager shared that, hey, the goal for 2021 and 2022 to get it back, you know, to let people talk again. You need to do something about it. At that time, it was only 2 of us in the team. My manager, who is head of the community, and I'm the first community manager after the pandemic. Well, we have the community since 2016. I thought there should be a core of the community, stars who are presenting, and I need to talk to them. But actually, when I started to search for that core of the community, I found out that a lot of people changed roles during the pandemic, as I mentioned. So not a lot of people who were old-timers in Kiwi.com, who were presenting at the conferences and meetups, were still there with us. So I found myself in the situation when I need to rebuild also the core of the community, and I need to fill that gaps. Again, when I joined, my manager shared that one of the tools that we use in the community is Community Guild monthly meeting, to get the ideas from the community, to get the feedback, and to brainstorm on the ideas that we are going to deliver during next month. When I joined that community guild session, it was 4 of us there, and 2 of them was me and my manager. So it didn't really work. And we have the engineering department of about 500 people. By now, it's already 542. So yeah, I prepared for you the checkbox list, what you can do to reactivate your community. But before that, I want to mention one thing that Gabriela and Jan always mentioning, the reporting line and how it's important. I don't know why I need those things. I'm usually trying to prepare myself just to be professional, but I think I will not be reading. So yeah, the reporting line. We sit in engineering department, and we report to CTO JK. I mentioned him already. This is my manager. And now, in 2022, we have 2 chapters in the community team. Develop chapter that is responsible for the developer content and for the engagement with the developers. I am there. And we have ops in the support chapter, the chapter where we have event managers. So everything like booth related from the past talk is there. I don't know much about booths. Well, I know about the content for the booth from devs, but I'm not into event management right now. So why is it important for my chapter? It's because it helps tremendously when you one of the developers, when you get the access to the developer content, when you can be part of their stand-ups, when you can shadow them during the on-calls if you need, when you have all the tools to explore the engineering culture. So being part of the engineering department helps a lot. It also helps when you need to coach developers on the public speaking, on the writing. So they consider you one of them, and they're willing to share with you. It also helps a lot when you need to reach out to the engineering leadership. It's usually easier. So I'm a big fan of this approach when tech community sits in engineering department. But no worries if it's not your case and you're for some reason sit in marketing, in HR, or in learning and development. Doesn't matter. It's just for you. I would suggest to really build a great connection to the engineering leadership. You will need it. You will need their buy-in. So yeah, the checkbox list. I love checkbox lists. So if you need one, if you're just starting, I don't know if we have anyone from Rowi. I know they're starting working with their tech community, or Amplify. I know your guys trying to do this. So for the people who are just starting or rebuilding their community after the pandemic, it could work. So what I would suggest first is to align with your CTO, VPs, engineering leads, directors. I will send everything. No. Yeah, I will send everything. No worries. You don't need to take like pictures. So align with CTO, VPs, engineering leads, directors. I don't know your structure. Just align with your engineering leadership and explore their opinion on the community, their values, what they suggest you to focus technology-wise, and understand the persona you're targeting on right now. They are the best people to start with. Research the communication tools inside of the department. Again, every company is different, but in our company we have all devs monthly meetings. We just had one today. Community team, usually always the part of it. We are there, we are presenting, and we are also spying and listening there. We have tribe-specific communication meetings like auto-booking tribe town hall. You can also be part of these things. You will most likely have some Kamunda nerd clubs, Haskell nerd clubs, some book clubs in engineering department. You need to explore how engineering teams are communicating. If you see the gaps, by the way, it's also you can also suggest the room for improvement, and you can actually influence that. So if you're not quite there yet, you can influence such things. So use DM and don't be afraid to ask stupid questions. This is my favorite. And for every community builder, I would suggest to use DM when you're starting a lot. Sitting in engineering department also helps not to be scared of asking stupid questions. And I think every company's developers, they know how to work with juniors, and they consider me junior every time I'm bugging them with my next question. So use that. They will give you more information on what you read or heard. Get back to the roots of the community. So this is where, after pandemic, explore what we had before. In our case, we are building it since 2016, so we actually had quite a few community projects that were successful. So it's time to get back to the roots and see what was great before and how you can rebuild it after the pandemic. If you didn't have community before, well, just remove this thing. But in our case, we had a lot of educational projects in the past. This is how we proceed with Python weekends this year, and it worked for me to get the core of the community back. This is the most important part. You need to provide support, and you need to act as a community help desk. So every time your developer is going for a conference or applying for the conference, writing abstract, writing BO, undergoing CFP process, you should be there for them from the start till the beginning. Same goes with writing. In our company, we're doing a lot. We're helping with CFP. We are reviewing abstracts. We are providing proofreading externally. I'm not a native speaker. This is why I'm not doing this myself. We have peer reviews. We have dry run sessions before the conferences. We have external developers reviews of the abstracts. This is where you can use your network and you can show the abstracts of your people to get the diverse feedback on the things your people are writing inside. So this is the most important part. Your community would understand that, hey, we are actually comfortable with doing these things, especially if they haven't been doing that before, if they are newbie in the community. Introduce new initiatives. This is time while you're doing something that is old but gold, as in our case it was educational projects. It's time to introduce some new initiatives based on what you've been researching and based on what you got from your engineer leadership. So it's time. I don't know what it will be for you. For us, we decided to proceed to introduce tribe-specific events, and we had FinTech Tribe meetup, and we also had engineering fuck-up meetups. This is how we decided to communicate our engineering culture and say, hey, we think that making mistakes is okay. It's in the developer culture. We also had some misunderstanding with our brand because they were not sure. Hey, are we sure we want to say that we are fuck-ups? No, we are not. It's just we are not afraid to make mistakes and learn from that. Actually, Sentinel-1 was part of that meetup. It was quite fun. It was also in HubHub, so thank you, Karolína. Yeah, don't forget to reward champions. Your people are working. They are working on their abstracts. They are working with their peers, reviewing those abstracts, their talks. They are doing dry runs. They are giving the feedback. The community is work. Yes, it's fun. We are here to make it as fun as possible, but it's work on top of your daily work. So reward champions. I don't know how it works with you, but from my experience, and there is no, maybe it's like super obvious, but merge works the best. I'm trying to introduce the budget for learning and development, and every time developers click merge, I need another hoodie. Or, yeah. But to me, extra budget for conferences, extra budget for community brainstorming sessions that could be held somewhere in the mountains or something like that. So something good. But merge works. Onboard newbies. Don't forget to onboard newbies. You will be having your core of the community, but don't forget that sometimes people will be busy with their daily work, and you will need more people. So once people are joining, and if you can see that they are not in the community yet, but there is a potential, introduce them into that, onboard them, and let them contribute. Yeah. So what what can you get from that? So yeah, you're getting the buy-in from leadership. I suggest you also to organize the check-ins with them quarterly at least, because things will be changing along the way. You got your content ideas validated by developers. Your developers feel supported on every stage of the community project, from the idea through CFP and till the very end when you're getting the feedback on their talk delivered. And you found your core of the community, and you're prepared to onboard new joiners. So this is something that you can work with next year, when most likely we'll be dealing with a recession. So new challenges will be happening in the community. And we definitely will be discussing how we work with the new community budget in 2023 to cut the cost of the booth, right? So yeah, thank you. That is me.
Did someone say that merge works? Because it does. It does. I borrowed it from one of our developers, but the merge should never be the end goal. It should be really like the reward, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it works. And the more creative you get with the merge, I think the better. We even had sweatpants, we had sweatpants shorts, and now we have bombers. So it really pays off to think about it, what to do.
We have swimming shorts. You have it.
Oh, okay. We don't have that. So, well, they weren't branded. They were just golden. But you mentioned that you will be cutting on booze budget.
No, I expect everybody will be cutting on it. No.
Maybe, who knows? But there is some booze there. But before, would you have?
No, not that booth.
Oh.
I meant like the booth at the conference.
Oh. I thought booze. Okay.
No, that booth will stay.
Okay, good. Anyway, do you have any? Do you have any questions to? Do you have any questions to Alena on this about booths, booze, or anything else? All right, thank you, Alenka. Or you?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that actually, yeah. Can you bring my slides back? That if you guys are interested in the developer content and developer relations, we are bringing DevRelCon this December. It's happening from 6th to 7th of December. And I don't know if you guys will manage to put my slides back, but it doesn't matter already, I guess. Yeah, it's there? Yeah, it's here. So on 6th and 7th, a lot of people will be traveling from the US and UK for that, and we are bringing it. It's made by Hupi, but we are kind of like supported to bring it to Prague. So we have 20% off to join it. So in case you are interested, use it, and it should be extremely fun.
You'll hear Alena one more time speaking.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. So before we have the third talk by Karolína from HubHub, definitely feel free to refresh yourself. There is water, there is beer, there is wine. It's self-service. And let's meet here in about five minutes. Yeah? All right. And the stream will be in 5 minutes back. And we are back. We are back in HubHub. We are back on YouTube, and we'll continue with the last presentation. It's gonna be by Karolína from HubHub, who are nice enough to host us here today. So you can hop in here. All right, floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, everybody. That's my fun support team. So I didn't have any prepared questions. So I was like really quickly thinking about, so what should I ask you, right? So I'm the community manager here in HubHub. So how many HubHub members are here today? 0, but I see some ex-member. Okay, still, we are above the average, unfortunately. So I would like to thank you all for coming. Also, hi to everybody who is watching our live stream. I'm Karolína, and I work as a community manager in HubHub. I stepped in several months ago, and when I was thinking about the topic I will be talking about, I was thinking and again, and I was like getting really into it, and I just realized how far complex is community management. So I got lost, really. And there is not the community as a community, and my community is rather special compared to the ladies' one, because they both work in a big tech startups. They are working with tech communities, and mine is really diverse. So anyway, I choose the topic, how well do we know our community? Because this is the question I'm asking myself recently a lot. And you will find out why I'm asking this question a lot. And I would like to actually explore with you how you can get the data, information from your community, so you will be able to execute the community activities that will lead to the self-recognition, self-promoting, successful, healthy community, which can be definitely a matter of subject, depending on different circumstances and conditions, as I will be speaking about as well, and as I already shed a bit of light because I'm not working within the tech startup. But anyway, when I stepped in a couple of months ago in HubHub, I came across with a different assignment. Just do the community stuff, or make our clients happy and involved. Well, so I approached it on my own, which could be really liberating on one way, because you can do whatever you want to do in planning, organizing. But on the other hand, to have a clear goal, what is your goal as a community manager in your community, is really essential. And of course, I've got the KPIs, I've got the job description, and etc. But actually, these all strategic things already should reflect how well you know your community. And I will be sharing my ideas, thoughts, recommendation. I'm pretty sure that I didn't find an ultimate way how to get to your community at the best. And if you will feel, or if you find out that you are feeling the same situation by yourself, I will be very happy to elaborate more on the topic in the further networking session. So, how well do we know our community? And you need to first know my default position from my which talking to you. So HubHub is a chain of co-working centers. We've got the 2 locations here in Prague. We are at the one, but we have another one in Panská Street, and we are offering a flexible office solution. You can come across with the HubHub brand also in other 4 European cities. And we have actually those 2 locations come up to 645 members till today, which counts up to like 50 clients. And we've got like wide range of clients. We don't have just the freelancers, we have startups, we have medium and large companies, we have service providers, and they are covering all different kind of industry fields. They have totally different target audience, they have different requirements, expectation. And even I really love the word diversity, but this makes my job really, really challenging. Anyway, so how well do I know my community, my HubHub community? And let me answer this question with one of the answers I received from one of our members, who was actually taking part in the video shooting Meet the Members. And I was asking him the question, the member, I'm sorry, her, how do you perceive the HubHub community? Do you like it? Do you find it beneficial for your personal use or for your company use? And the answer was, well, I don't think there is a community. So that hurt a lot. And I was, what did I do wrong? I just received this answer like a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like running massively the events and doing all the community stuff like as crazy like during these last months. So I was like, do I really know my community? So who is like in my community? What they like, what they dislike, what they find useful. On the contrary, what they find reluctant and annoying. Well, actually, I recently found out that already they find annoying my face because I'm always like knocking on them the door. We are having the coffee break. We are having the community breakfast. Come and join us. So I need to be really patient with this one. So I was asking those questions, and I tried to take some action steps, or I was like, okay, so I need to make a profile of an ideal community member, right? Because I'm lacking the data about the community members. So what are the ways, what are the instruments I can use to get the data, the information about my community? So we created very mighty community metrics. Well, actually, this is just the G form. I think that all forms, all charts, surveys, they can be useful, but they don't work as expected. We've got like 20 responses out of 50, very small sample. So it wasn't actually very working. We tried to put the motivation there so you will get the free license to the online magazines. Nothing actually worked. I think that there is kind of like, I don't want to fill in another form. I'm sorry. I'm just like, you know, it's another thing. I don't want to do it. So I was thinking, okay, so I will do my own research. I will look all the information on the internet about every client, about every person I can get. So this is really effective, right? You can find everything on the internet. Even personal stuff you don't want to know, but you will get there. But doing it on the sample of 645 people, it's like not feasible. And just to let you know, I'm the only one-man show in my community team. So if I would like finish this research on my own, I could start another one and doing just this one. So it's not a feasible, but it could work very nice. But anyway, it's a good start. It's a really good way how you can start, right? But with the charts, surveys, forms, please be sure that you run some tests before you will send out to your community members. Please try to reshape the questions. We find out that some of the questions in our community metrics actually doesn't have a sense, didn't make a sense. So it's really good if you will go through more eyes, more see, more brains, more nose. So really run some tests, and it could be a really good start, but don't have a high expectation because people just don't like filling in another online form. Or you can take some action steps. So I started run massively events. We had a community breakfast, coffee breaks, quizzes. We had massages in the events. We've got the sport activities. We had some educational events. We have a healthy day. If I remember our last healthy day, there was like 5 attendees, and 4 of them was actually the HubHub management team members. So only one attendees from the community of HubHub. But So I was also like, okay, so how can I get the feedback, right? Because this is for me a sign that, okay, this content is not relevant. So was the timing bad? Was the speaker not so attractive? Was the program not so attractive? So what can I change to actually make the events which is really attractive to at least majority of our community? So events is really good instrument where you can meet the members and ask them, right, if they will come to the event. Chit checks or just talking. It really works. It's so like, I really see on the members when I'm talking to them like in one-to-one, it's like they are super happy that you're listening just to them. And they are sharing much more rather than, you can have a chit-chat during the event, but you want to actually talk to many than like more than one people. So you're like quite busy and you need to take care of the organization and so on. So if you just meet them in a community space, like community kitchen, gaming zone, open space. They're so open, they are so happy that they can see you. They are more willing to share the feedback and so on. So this is really something would work, but it's also time consuming, right? We have also the Office application, which is really robust. And not every member is willing actually to implement it, integrate it in their communication internally, because they've got already their own application, right? And even this is really robust and they've got some pretty good functions. The engagement, the comments, it's actually zero, really. It's below the zero, unfortunately. Most of the profiles looks like a ghost profile, so you can't get the information there as you would need to. But as a communication channel towards the community, it works pretty well, I hope. And yeah, we recently launched also the push notifications, which a lot of members actually appreciated, so this is also one way to go. I also tried, because I was getting a little bit desperate about my efforts towards the community in HubHub. So I tried to organize a roundtable to everybody who's got something to say, how they would like the how they would like the HubHub community to be in the future. So I prepared the agenda, I prepared the program. I was like super, boosted that it will be so great. There will be just a couple of people, but who are really into it, and we will just share the ideas, and we will come up with the great ideas and so on. Well, after 15 minutes after the beginning, there was only me and my colleague Philip. So but anyway. Focus groups definitely works. I should did some pre-confirmation of the participants, and I should target really specific people in my community. So I don't want to tell you that roundtables focus group doesn't work. It works, but you need to work on the preparation definitely much more. Even if I thought that I did my best, but anyway, there is always space for improvement. And why should we actually care about our community and who is in there? Because if you know your community, you're most likely to get the expected outcomes from the community activities you have. You can build a really healthy, sustainable, self-promoting, self-led community, which has this giving back feeling, right? So this is the reason why we should care, and we should ask this question: what are our community needs and expectation every day, very often, because it's a dynamic, it changes a lot. Even the community itself, it's a live entity which changes, which would like to improve. So just keep this on your mind, and really just do not settle in just with only free foods and drinks are enough for us. Be ambitious, right? And that's it from my side. It was really more on a philosophical way. I know you didn't get any practical experience and tips from me. I'm so sorry, but it is really basically because of I'm just dealing with the questions right now, and I really want to share it. And I would like to finish my presentation with just work smarter, not harder. Thank you very much.
Never underestimate what you're talking about, you know, because I think it's similar to developers. They always say, but I have nothing to talk about. What we did is not interesting. And then all of a sudden they talk about it and everybody's like, oh, are you kidding me? How are you doing it? And you'll never find out if you're not talking about it in public. So I'm happy that you took this challenge and you spoke here today. And I wanted to ask, because you mentioned this, and you mentioned that it was philosophical, but there was really, I think everybody who works with community kind of related to many of those things, and it was nice that you put it concisely in one place. But do you keep some calendar of people that you've met and things that they told you so that you can implement them later, or are you doing it somehow ad hoc?
Well, I'm doing it, but it's like really punk way. So I'm taking the notes, but still, it's a task for me right now to find the instrument that would somehow consolidate these data so I could learn from them in the future. So right now, there is really just a few people I'm talking on a regular basis, because we've got the middle and large size companies, and there is always like two people who are really talkative and they would like to share with us. They are like, the deputies for the community. So I just can't get into all members of the community. So it actually shrink the numbers of the members here in HubHub. But definitely, I'm just taking the notes. It's really punk, and I'm super happy to hear all your recommendation, what you're using, instruments which I could use to make really HubHub community vital, vibrant, and dynamic.
But what really works is that when they tell you, you take a note and you actually action on it. So when you choose like the small things that you can really do quickly, and one thing that I would like people to take away from your presentation, if I can say it that way, is always choose the audience. Don't try to talk to everybody, because you'll never be able to talk to everybody. Try to choose, the ambassadors, as you mentioned, because those are the active ones, and out of them, maybe you can get to the less active ones. But yeah, choose the audience.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
thank you. Are there any questions? Yeah, sorry. Claps for you. Definitely, yeah. Richard.
I don't know the price for the office rental or something like that. No, just kidding.
I have a stupid question. How do you measure below zero usage?
No, I was just, I just want to be or I just wanted to emphasize my desperateness or something like that. But no, it's not the black and white, with the community. And maybe I describe it in a really dark way. But the community in HubHub is really great. But I just need to find an approach that suits at least the majority, because there is a lot of potential, but hard work, and it will take a time, and I really believe that we will go there sometime. But yeah, it's about the instruments, lessons learned, experience, know-how. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a bad listener. I missed the first part of your talk because I was talking to some of the attendees. I think it's not working. Oh, it's working now. It's just I don't know how to use it. I have a question on, do you have the values of the community defined somehow for HubHubbers?
Well, actually, no, we don't have the values we would like to see also in our members and clients, and that's, I think, it's also one thing we are missing, and that would help really a lot to actually profiling the potential members also.
Yeah, the thing is, at least what we use in our tech community, it's not only who your people are about, but also what you want them to be. So sometimes it's really, for us, it's necessary to define the values and to incorporate it into the onboarding for the new joiners of the community. So maybe you can also.
I totally agree with this one.
But definitely you need to collaborate with that, with all the community managers of HubHub all over the world.
Definitely.
Right, and I almost forgot about that we had the Slido, and there are actually two questions from Martin. So thank you, Martin, for putting them in.
Not from me, right?
Sorry?
Go.
It's for, I think, everybody. So we'll see who will answer those. Okay. Thank you, Karolina.
Thank you.
So these are very broad questions. Are community managers working with tech recruiters? Is there a synergy between the recruitment and community teams? So, yeah.
I think I have two microphones. Should I stand for it? Yeah. Okay. Great. So yeah, thank you, Martin. I think I know you, but maybe not.
So thank you for your question. Yeah, definitely. There is a synergy between tech recruiters. I always tell that there is no way we can influence directly hiring in tech community, but we can support it. This is how it happened to me. I joined Kiwi.com, code.kiwi.com tech meetup 6 years ago, and 4.5 years after I joined Kiwi. So it works, although we cannot support hiring directly. Company cannot expect immediate hiring from the tech community initiatives. But yes, definitely, we work with our recruiters. We look at the yearly plans. We look at the who is the talent that our company is in need right now, and we are trying to marry the content that we have in engineering department with our recruitment needs. This is part of the job.
And if I can say what we do, for example, I ask the recruiters what people ask at the interviews. Thank you, because, for example, now we wrote a piece about buddy system. So we have a buddy system where people get, for 6 months, they get somebody who takes care of them, that helps them to get in speed. And people constantly kept asking, so how does the first couple of months look like in your company? And they were like, okay, let's write a blog post about it. And now it's being shared. When somebody asks this question, we can influence that. There is another question from Martin. Alenka knows who you are. Are developers logging the time spent on community initiatives, tech meetups, booth presence, etc.? So we don't have like a punch system that somebody would like do like 1 hour, 2 hours or something like that. But as Alenka was saying, merch matters. And as Gabriela was saying, we're playful and we like games. So we kind of combine these two, and at least in Mews, and I'm sure it's in other companies as well, we have kind of a gamification thing where you collect points. For example, you speak at a blog post, you speak at an event, you write a blog post, you get points, and then you can exchange it for some nice merch. So for example, today, you know, Gabcha will get 25 points into her game, and maybe in a couple of months you'll see her in a new swag or merch. So that's how we are kind of locking it.
Yeah, I have an answer for that. As in Kiwi.com, we have some of the educational projects there that are quite time-consuming and demanding. And for example, our mentors of our Python weekend, they usually get the time off after the event. It's a 3-day hackathon basically, and we are almost not sleeping during that time. So yes, they get some time off as a bonus, and they definitely get the merch. But generally, the community work is voluntarily. We don't pay people for that. They are doing it for their own purposes, for their own growth.
So we don't know Anonymous, but maybe you know us. Is person who said there is no community still alive. I tried to Google this quote and I didn't find this quote. So I don't know if anyone knows this quote, sorry? Oh. No, but I thought this is like there is no community. It's like a thing somebody said in the like.
Well, now it's a quote. Well, the person is still alive, but I can give the profile details to the anonymous if they, if she or he will take care of it.
So
no,
yeah.
just kidding.
Boost budget, and there is no community quote. So I'm in top form today, and we've seen that there is a booth space planning. Do you also use some kind of 3D VR AR visualization? Wow, that's for us. I think it would be an overkill at this point. We use, I think, Paint because we have it in our head and we just put it in Paint and we send it to the organizers and they say yes, it's okay. And I guess they also use Paint because they always accepted it. So no, we don't use. I think. I can imagine that our marketing team does that because they've done really like a huge events like these, I don't know, hotel conferences where it's 80,000 attendees and it's like it costs tens of thousands of euros. So I'm sure that there some 3D goes in there, but no. Tell this. Okay, I think there is a fight between anonymous people or maybe just one Skies of Running one. How did you make the booth sketches? Yeah, I think I replied to it in Paint.
No, sorry, it was whiteboard. Whiteboard.
Or maybe it was a whiteboard in the
like that.
office. We took a photo of it and we sent it over to the organizers. So yeah, so I think that's all the questions, unless Anonymous has something to say. But thank you all for thank you for the questions. Thank you all for coming. I know that it's coming. It's already Advent. It's coming. You know, Christmas is coming. So I know that it's, the evenings are now going to be busy. So enjoy the time, and thank you for coming, and thank you for watching.